Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants is the NFC East, full of rivalries, a little bit of hatred, but at the end of the day, respect for one another. Welcome to the Beanie Podcast, NFC East breakdown episode. Ed, it was good seeing you last week. We're in different states, everyone, so it was good to see Ed. He was in town and catch up with him and hear about some of his people in his inner circle from high school and vice versa. I'm sure. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Less than a week to go till we got this Thursday night Eagles Cowboys game. Fantasy football is starting to get underway. I got a couple of drafts happening tonight. Uh, Everybody else out there, good luck to y'all if y'all play fantasy football. But yeah, man, let's get into it with this opening drive, shall we? The Packers have acquired Micah Parsons from the Cowboys in exchange for two first-round picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Parsons was awarded a four-year, $188 million contract. Trey Hendrickson has received a contract extension for the Bengals. He will now make $30 million in 2025. Spencer Rattler has been named the starter quarterback for the Saints. Safety Shiloh Sander was waived by the Bucks. Quarterback Tommy DeVito has signed with the Patriots after the Giants released him. The Panthers have released wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has been suspended the first 6 games of the season. Adam Thielen is back with the Vikings, everybody. Fox lead color commentator Tom Brady is now allowed to attend broadcast meetings with players and coaches. He's still banned from all team practices. The offensive linebackers coach Ryan Crow is on administrative leave after he was arrested on a domestic battery charge. Safety Jabril Peppers has been let go by the Patriots. The Ravens have locked down safety Kyle Hamilton with a four-year, $100 million extension. And finally, Terry McLaurin has signed a three-year, $96 million contract extension with Washington. Thank God. Brandon, you got any thoughts on stuff in the opening drive?
Yeah, the Micah Parsons thing, of course, caught everybody pretty much off guard. It kind of came down within the last couple of days that it was some suitors. I remember watching NFL Live yesterday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and a couple of the teams that they mentioned, one of them was Green Bay. And I always think like on TV, they be bluffing, like they just want to talk about it just to give them something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but then, sure enough, it happened. It was Green Bay, and Cowboys fans are like, of all teams, Green Bay, because they struggle against them in the playoffs. Besides the 49ers, I think have had their number a good amount of times recently as well. Um, it's a good pickup for Green Bay. I don't think it puts them at the top of the NFC North. I still like the Minnesota Vikings. I think their defense is just a step ahead. Um, they don't necessarily have that premier pass rusher like Micah Parsons, but I still got to see a lot of Jordan Love. I got to see a little bit more out of him. For the Cowboys, we'll see line. I think it will be an issue this year. Um, and I know Jerry Jones came out in his press conference. He was like, we got to stop the run. It's been an issue for the last 2 years plus. Until we see it, I won't believe that they're able to stop the run. Um, Kyle Hamilton, well deserved, best safety in the National Football League, in my opinion, hands down. He's now the highest paid safety as well in league history. Blessed to have him, man. It's just amazing. To go years ago from Ed Reed to have a guy like Kyle. He plays a little bit more like Troy Polamalu of our rival Pittsburgh Steelers, but he's still just an amazing playmaker out there and a difference maker. And then Terry, good to see him get signed as well. I know Ed's was breathing a relief when that news came down. Um, that way, JD5 will have his top target there. He has chemistry, so I don't think it'll be any issue with any type of off routes or anything like that. There'll be rhythm or anything. Those guys played together all last year, so I think they'll be fine. How do you feel about this opening drive? I know you got a couple of topics you may want to talk about as well.
Yeah, Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. I was wondering when the punishment for him would go down. 6 games. Kind of think he got off a little bit lucky. I think I saw something earlier this week where they were originally trying to give him a double digit game suspension, but definitely the NFLPA and Rashid Rice's representatives weren't trying to go for that. So he's lucky, in my opinion. He only got 6 games. Spencer Rattler starting for the Saints. I thought that was good as well. Well, not good, but I thought that was good for Spencer Rattler, I should say. If he were to lose a job to the rookie quarterback, not sure how much his NFL career will continue unless he would just be a backup for a bunch of places. So that was kind of cool to see. And then, yeah, man, getting to the Packers and the Cowboys trade. When I was first saw the news, I was at work and it literally made me say "wow" out loud because I was completely shocked by that. I thought at the end of the day, the Cowboys would get a deal done with Micah, but I thought if anything, it would go into the season. Maybe he missed the first game or something like that, and they get a deal done later. But yeah, him going to the Packers definitely surprised me. Huge shock. And then your Trey Hendrickson. I remember you were saying they're gonna get it done. They're gonna get it done. They finally got it done. Um, they push it off to next year, so we'll see what Trey Hendrickson does this season. If they do the same thing next season, where they don't want to pay him what he's worth, but we'll see. But let's get into this NFC East, man. I'm ready to get talking about this. First, the New York Giants made some splashes in the draft. Third overall pick, they got Abdul Carter, edge rusher out of Penn State. Then a little controversy, I guess, because a lot of people were wondering where Shador Sanders was going to go. Well, it wasn't to the Giants. They drafted Jackson Dart. Looking at what he did in the preseason, I think there's a lot of anticipation for whenever he does play. But as long as Russell Wilson stays healthy and plays good, I think it'll be Russell Wilson's team going forward. But slightest, sign of trouble or if there's an injury, it was going to be Jackson Dart's team. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna be honest with you. On paper, I think this defensive line is really, really good, like a top 5 unit, honestly. I mean, especially when they play the Commanders. I said it a lot of times about Kayvon Thibodeau, talking to you about it, texting you. Kayvon Thibodeau, he plays against the Commanders, and he turns into the second coming of Lawrence Taylor. Pretty sure there was a game last year. He had 4 sacks. I want to say he got most of his sacks in the season against us in 2 games he played us. Dexter Lawrence, looking at the top 100, I want to say he was like ranked number 11th out of all the players. I mean, you got Brian Burns. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm just thinking about that first game in the defensive line and the troubles they may cause. I know you're saying the secondary, well, we could probably throw a party on them, but I still need to see how we do against that defensive line because I think that defensive line is going to be a top unit this year. Overall, though, I'm trying to see what they did in the offseason. Offensive line for the Giants throughout the years has been average at best, terrible for most the last recent years. They tried to do some things this offseason. Key additions: John Runyon, Aaron Stinley. They also picked up tackles Jermaine Ella Munor and Stone Forsyth. So we'll see if those additions to the offensive line can help them out. Give Russell a little bit more time to throw the ball downfield and improve that running game because I think Tyrone Tracy is a decent running back from what I've seen so far. They also picked up Cam Scatterbo in the draft, running back out of Arizona State. So we'll see how that goes. And then wide receiver Malik Neighbors, I think is not the next bona fide star. He put up great numbers last year with the mediocre quarterback play he has now. I think Russell Wilson a little bit long in the tooth, whatever, but he could throw those patented moon balls. It gets a good chemistry, get a good accord with Malik Neighbors. He's definitely going to make some noise in his leagues. I can see him running off. If everybody remembers the first couple years, 3 years, Odell Beckham was in the league, put up huge numbers, was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I can definitely see Malik Neighbors following down that same path. So all in all, in my opinion, I got the Giants finishing third in the NFC East right now. I know a lot of people are low on this team. I think they're going to be a tough out for a lot of people. I think they were missing a quarterback, decent, steady quarterback play last year, which kind of hampered them. I think this year, I feel like Russell Wilson, you saw what he did with the Steelers. He wasn't, terrible. He was able to, manage the games, win a couple of games for the guys. So I think he can do the same thing with the Giants. And they'll play teams tougher. I think that defensive line is going to help out with the secondary. And I think I got the Giants finishing third in the NFC East right now. Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Giants going into this season?
All right, wow. And so third place, I want to lean towards third place, but I'm not. I am though optimistic. Things will be a little bit better for the Giants this year. Two main reasons: you've been high on this defensive line, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, as you mentioned, Abdul Carter, the rookie. And my guy, Dexter Lawrence, he's just a force in the middle. He missed a lot of time last year, but right before he went out, he was leading the league in sacks. So that does give me optimism overall. And number two, it just damn near can't get possibly any worse than what it was last year. I think it was 3 wins overall.
Yeah.
um, they've got to be better. But sticking to the defensive side of the ball, I have no doubt this defensive line will be a force week in and week out. It's the secondary, in my opinion. They added Javon Holland to go along with Tyler Nubin. He was their second round pick from last year. He's a starter now. These corners have got to play better than they did a year ago. Mainly Deontay Banks. He hasn't lived up to his first round talent. Um, I hate to say it, he's from the University of Maryland because we're Marylanders, but he just did not represent our school very well there out of College Park. But if they can get one or two turnovers a game and get a do a better job at defending that end zone, it'll go a long way in helping this offense. Russ is definitely an upgrade over Daniel Jones. Damn near anybody in the league is, honestly, for the most part. Um, and some of the other guys that started in 2024. I'm looking forward to see how he connects with Darius Slayton, Wandale Robinson, and as you mentioned, the Malik Neighbors out of LSU. Um, a lot of guys have been talking about their rookie fourth rounder, Cam Scatabo. I think that's how you say his name at the running back position. I heard a lot about him during the offseason. It'll be interesting to see how he's used because they got two good backs, in my opinion, in Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. They looked really good in preseason overall. The Giants did. Of course, that is preseason. Hopefully, it'll carry over into the regular season because, again, those first 9 games, and I think I've mentioned it a couple times in the show during this offseason, those first 9 games for the Giants are brutal. Honestly, looking at their schedule, the first 12 games, if they can get at least 3 of those um, games in the win column, it'll definitely be better because again, they only won 3 all last year. But I'm hoping that we can get a good 4 to 5 games with Jackson Dart as the starter. Um, whether that's after the bye week, I think they have a late bye week again this year, um, or at some point because we need to figure out whether he's the franchise guy or not. Because you just never know when they're rookies. You never know what how they produced in college if it's going to translate to the National Football League. But unfortunately, I think the Giants are going to finish fourth place. I think Dallas may flirt with fourth, but we'll get to them later. But I think I got to see it. I got to see it before I can give them a higher grade there in the NFC East. All right, turning the page, fresh off a Super Bowl win and a beatdown of the Chiefs. Special thanks to Philly, by the way, everyone. The Eagles are hoping to make another run at the World Championship this season. But how does Ed feel about Philly?
Oh man, Philly. Let's start with some of the players that left this offseason. Darius Slay was released, their cornerback, defensive end Josh Sweat, he's out of there now, and defensive tackle Milton Williams, he's gone too. Looking at safety CJ Gardner Johnson, he was traded, and cornerback Avante Maddox, running back Kenneth Gainwell, linebacker Oren Burks, cornerback Isaiah Rogers, and then defensive back James Bradbury, they were all released. Also, defensive end Brandon Graham, pretty much all timer for the Eagles in terms of staying with the team and everything. He's gone. Then our guard Makai Becton, they all signed with another team. So they had a lot of movement just for guys leaving the team. Uh, all that being said, I still fear the Eagles, man. Just that defensive line, the defense as a whole. I mean, they got Zach Bond out of nowhere. I think they picked him off a practice squad or somebody for somebody who's playing special teams. They pick him up, throw him in the linebacker position, and he turns in a freaking all-pro type season. They re-signed him to an extension. The clown ass Giants, you know what they did with Saquon Barkley. I'll never forgive them for that. Saquon did Saquon things. He could have broke the rushing record if he wanted to. He's still with the team. They re-signed him to a major deal. Tackle Lane Johnson, he's still with the team. And center Cam Jurgens, he's with the team too. They all got extensions. Looking at the free agents they picked up, running back A.J. Dillon, formerly with the Green Bay Packers. He's a bruiser type guy. I'm going to fear when he plays. I think he's dealing with a little bit of injuries, but I think whenever he does get on the field, that'll be a good 1, 2, 3 type of punch for that running game. I picked up Harrison Bryant, tight end, and also Kylan Granson, the tight end. I believe he played with the Colts last year. Then going into the draft, they've nailed the draft the last couple of years. They might have the freaking defensive rookie of the year with their first round pick that they acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs, matter of fact. Jihad Campbell, linebacker at Alabama. I mean, I've been hearing really good things about this guy. He's playing behind a stout defensive line, so I can see him making a bunch of plays when he gets on the field. So, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, man, the Eagles, I think they're going to still be in the top spot at the NFC East, and they're definitely going to compete for the NFC as a whole in this conference, man. As long as Jalen Hurts can stay healthy, he just throws the ball up to A.J. Brown. He's either going to catch it or draw a flag. And then Devonta Smith, 1B type receiver. I think A.J. Brown's a 1A type receiver, and Devonta Smith is a 1B type receiver. They're going to do great things, man. So, honestly, man, I don't really have too much to say about the Eagles. I do think they're going to be number one in the NFC East again. That defense as a whole, the offensive line, the Beverly shove, the tush push, whatever you want to call it, no one's kind of figured out a way to stop that yet. As long as they stay healthy, man, yeah, I think they'll repeat. I think it'll be the first time in a while that we had a back-to-back winner in the NFC East, and the freaking Eagles are the team that can do it with the roster they have. And as long as they keep doing good in the draft like they've done the last couple of years, hitting on not one, but like 2 or 3 draft picks where they are, immediate starters or at least immediate playmakers, they'll be good. And I definitely can see the first round pick, Jihad Campbell, doing that too. I'm not even going to talk about this safety out of Texas, Andrew Makuba. I think he will be competing for a starting safety job as well. So, Lord have mercy. We'll see. Brandon, what are your thoughts on these Eagles, man?
Frankie Louvu knows how to stop the tush push, but it's illegal.
Yeah. Don't get me started, please.
But switching gears back to the Eagles, nobody has done it better adding the right players to their roster, veterans mainly, than Philly. As you mentioned, Saquon Barkley, Bond last year, A.J. Brown a couple years ago. He's no longer there, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson at the right time, Darius Slay. We can go on and on. They've let a lot of guys go, as you mentioned, but it is still a stacked roster. I'm interested to see how this offense will do, though, how they'll look without Kellen Moore calling plays. This will be, I think, their second or third offensive coordinator in as many years. They really faced some tough defenses in the first part of this season, 2025. Kansas City, the Los Angeles Rams defense, Tampa Bay, Denver has a stacked defense. They faced them. Minnesota, Green Bay, fresh with Micah Parsons, who knows the division, and that New York Giant defensive front. So it will be interesting to see whether they start fast or start slow for sure. But then they've added A.J. Dillon, another veteran, to help keep Saquon Barkley fresh down the stretch. Not that he needs to be, because, he was just all over the place last year, making plays in that run game. Defensively, I think this unit might get better. The main core is still there, but the strength, I think, of this defense is the secondary with Cooper DeJean and Kenyon Mitchell. I think Cooper could have been a potential candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year for sure last year. But my two main concerns are their offensive play calling and Jake Elliott, the kicker. He did miss some kicks down the stretch last year, definitely towards the back end of their season into the playoff run. And leading up to that Super Bowl, he was, I think, perfect in the Super Bowl, but down the stretch, he was missing some kicks. So hopefully he's gotten over whatever the issue was last year. Uh, this one's tough for me, man. I think Philly's going to finish second. I think there'll be a little bit of a step back from last year. Still very good, still a dominant force in the NFC, but I think them and the team that I'm picking to be first place will be neck and neck down the stretch in 2025. That late November, early December, early January, week 18, um, heading into 2026.
Okay. Wow. I got you. Well, let's move on from the Eagles, go down south to Texas, Dallas Cowboys, shall we? Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys?
I get the vibe from Cowboys fans that they're tired of Dak Prescott, but they damn sure better hope that he don't get injured because
Exactly.
Joe Milton is not the guy. He, they, a lot of Cowboys fans are saying like he can throw the deep ball, amazing at throwing it deep, 50, 60 yards down the field. But they say he cannot connect on a 5 yard slant. So y'all better be thankful for what you got because when Dak is healthy, especially in 2023, he had a phenomenal year. His rookie year, phenomenal year. It's just those big games in those big moments he does sometimes throw interceptions. But the run game is where they need to improve on offense. So they went out and got Javante Adams and Miles Sanders to go along with a pair of backs that they drafted recently, Deuce Vaughn, and I think Jaden Blue is a rookie this year. I think this running back room, I like them a whole lot better than I did last year. I think the run game, they'll finally be able to run the football, I think, down there. They've also been adding Cowboys fans have been wanting a legitimate number 2 wide receiver opposite CD Lamb. They got it in George Pickens. Um, but here's the thing. Steeler wide receivers, when they go to play for other teams, they typically don't produce as much as they did during their best seasons in Pittsburgh. But on the other hand, he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy in Dallas because you got CeeDee Lamb. He's got that rapport with Dak Prescott. They put up good numbers. CeeDee Lamb is him when he's healthy. He is a legitimate threat out there. But the main question for Dallas is can they stop the run? It's been a problem for them over the last couple of years. Um, Jerry Jones said at the press conference after the Micah Parsons trade that that's been their main issue the last 2 years. That's why they asked for the young man out of Green Bay, the defensive tackle in the trade. They thought that he would be a big improvement to help stopping the run. I don't think so because a lot of the guys that are there over from the last couple of years or were part of the issue are still there. And I think I mentioned that with a team last week or the week before. When those guys are still there, they were a part of the issue as well. So, yeah. We also got to watch these corners out there. Diggs has been banged up lately. I believe Bland has also been dealing with some issues. Those are two pretty good corners when they're healthy, but we got to see if they can be healthy for the entire season as well. The coaching staff is a change. I'm not too sure that Jerry Jones was sold on Brian Schottenheimer. He got hired late in the offseason because it kind of like they let Mike McCarthy's contract literally expire until they started the coaching search. Um, so to me, Shotty looks a little soft and scared. He's not like his father, in my opinion. Then they bring in Matt Eberflus from Bears as a defensive coordinator. I don't know how that's going to go either. I think he was a better defensive coordinator than he was a coach, but we'll see. We saw the regression last year on defense without Ed's coach, who came to DC, Dan Quinn. They took a big step back. This coaching staff could be out the door a little bit faster than the previous regime they kept around for year after year. But at the end of the day, Dallas is Dallas. Like Stephen A. Smith says, just wait. Accident waiting to happen. And we saw that Thursday when they traded away their best player, Micah Parsons. It looks like a move they may regret early on because, again, we don't I know they say that they have some pass rushers there, but nobody's Micah Parsons on that defense. They say that you could run the ball at him. They can't really stop the run, but who's going to make up for that 53 and a half sacks over the last 4 years. I know it was over 50. I think it was exactly 53 and a half. He missed some time last year, but that's a big loss there for their defense. Um, I would not be surprised if Dallas finishes in fourth place, but I'm going to give them the edge over New York because I think I trust Dak Prescott a little bit more than Russell Wilson. So give me Dallas at 3 in the NFC East.
Got you. Like you said, with Stephen A. Smith, accident waiting to happen. He also likes to say, "What can go wrong will
Yep.
go wrong." I'm feeling like that is going to happen with the Cowboys. It's either major injuries pop up at the wrong time, or just bonehead plays happen. I can see that happen a lot this year, specifically the bonehead plays. I never hope injury pops up, but you never know. That especially Dak Prescott. He's had two major injuries last couple years, so hopefully it doesn't happen for him. But you never know. Going back into this roster, man, they picked up my guy Dante Fowler. He had, I want to say, a resurgent season with the my team last year. Now he's back with the Cowboys, so we'll see if he can pick up some of those sacks for the Cowboys. They also drafted an edge rusher in the second round. Believe what is his name, young man? Let me see. 1 second. Had that up for a second here. Pardon me, everyone. Donovan.
Donovan, yeah.
Donovan Izuroko, round 2, second round. So you never know. He could, be the replacement that they never even realized they could have had it for Micah Parsons. And then, like you said, that big trade, Kenny Clark. We'll see, if that's the D tackle they're hoping Mozzie Smith was going to be. They drafted him a couple years ago. He never really worked out or panned out the way he wanted to. So hopefully Kenny Clark comes in here and he can strengthen up that run defense. But we'll see. They had a really good guy last year, Damarion Overshawn. Unfortunately, he got injured. I think he had a devastating knee injury, either middle or early last year. It might have been middle of the season, but I don't think he'll be back until like later in the season. But when he's on the field, he definitely looked like one of those guys that could play really well, potentially like Pro Bowl, All Pro type of player. But hopefully he can come back and get back the production he had before that devastating knee injury. Like you mentioned, the coaching staff changes. Brian Schottenheimer. They got a new offensive coordinator, Clayton Adams. Like you talked about, Matt Eberflus. Want to see how these dudes do coaching these guys up. Offensive side of the ball, I'm thinking about it. Every NFC East team has a premier wide receiver. A.J. Brown with the Eagles. C.D. Lamb with the Cowboys. We'll talk about Malik Neighbors with the Giants, and I'm going to talk about my boy Terry with my team, the Commanders, later on. But C.D. Lamb, George Pickens. I'm looking at the tight end, Jake Ferguson. These are three really good players, in my opinion. If Dak can hold on to the ball and be efficient with the ball, they definitely could make some noise. So we'll see how the offense looks. That running game, though, I'm still not too sure about. I really thought Javonte Williams is going to do some things when he's with the Broncos, but they didn't seem to have too much faith in him. We'll see how he does with the Dallas Cowboys. That offensive line lately has not been that great. I'll see, maybe they'll get a little better, but I'm not too sure about that. And then the rookie they drafted, Jaden Blue. We'll see how he does, but I'm not too sure if he'll do anything. Deuce Vaughn, they actually cut him. They waived him, so they didn't really have too much faith or trust in him going into his second year. So we'll see how running game goes, but I'm not too sure about it. I got them finishing in fourth place as well. Like I said, what can go wrong will go wrong. I think the defense last year was pretty bad. The run game was terrible. After all the injuries to the secondary, Trayvon Diggs, guys like that, he's coming off a knee injury himself. So we'll see how he does. I think he was recently taken off the physically unable to perform list. So we'll see if there's any rust going into this season. Not even sure he's going to be able to play week 1 yet or not. But I just think that defense is going to have a long way to go. And I got them finishing in fourth place right now. But, I mean, you never know. I honestly think this division is going to get back to the forefront where everybody was saying that the NFC East is the premier division. I think it's getting close to doing that again. I think my team and the Eagles are, right there. I think the Giants are on the come up, and the Cowboys. I mean, the players I mentioned, like C.D. Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, Dak Prescott, those guys, the defense, Kenny Clark, they just picked him up. We'll see if they do make any moves with those 2 first-round picks they got from the Packers. We'll see, man. I think all these teams are going to be, especially when they play each other, I think it's going to be a bloodbath again. But we'll see. But right now, I got the Cowboys finishing in the 4th place in the NFC East, sir.
Ed's Commanders shocked the world and went on a run with a rookie quarterback and an experienced head coach in 2024. Many roster questions remain unanswered, but I'm ready to hear Ed's thoughts about his team's chances this season.
First, I want to get to the schedule. We talked about it a little bit on the schedule release. I think I've been texting you a little bit about it. I know how you really don't like playing the primetime games. I'm kind of in the same boat. Well, they got us in freaking like at least 5 primetime games this year. They could schedule us out and give us even more. But let's start with week 2. We got to go to Green Bay. That's a Thursday night game. Now, mind you, we're playing week 1 Sunday, September 7th. Then we got a 4-day break before we play the goddamn Green Bay Packers and Micah Parsons for week 2, September 11th, Green Bay. Then week 6, we go against the Bears. They're going to want revenge. Speaking of, let me go on for a tangent with that real quick. We got to play the NFC North. There's 2 teams in that division that want to whoop our asses and get revenge on us. But they're going to start us off with the damn Bears Monday night game, week 6. Can't wait for that one. Then we got the Kansas City Chiefs, week 8. Oh, Lord. Then week 9, the very next week, we got a Sunday night game against the Seahawks. Week 13, we got another Sunday night game against the Denver Broncos. And then they got us on Christmas Day against the Dallas Cowboys. That game is going to be on Netflix. Speaking of the schedule again, this team, we playing 4 games where teams are coming off a bye. We got the Chicago Bears week 9, Chicago Bears week 6, Seattle Seahawks week 9, Denver week 13, and the freaking New York Giants week 15. So we playing 4 teams off a bye this year, most of any of the teams in the league this season. So they definitely want to put us on a schedule and see how we do. Last year we snuck up on it. A lot of people. This year it ain't happening. They want to see Jaden Daniels early and often, and they want to see how we do. Now let me get into the team part. I talk about the Eagles and how they drafted well. The Commanders definitely need to do that. Last year we nailed it with the quarterback. We nailed it with Mike Sarenstill, cornerback. We need everybody that we drafted last year to step up. Luke McCaffrey, talking about you. Jerzon Newton, Johnny Newton, I'm talking about you, sir. Deron Payne is the only, defensive lineman that's still, with the old core. Everybody else, Jonathan Allen, he's gone. Chase Young, he's gone. My guy who plays with the Bears, I can't remember, Montez Sweat, he's gone. We picked up Javon Kinlaw, DT, Eddie Goldman. He's actually from the DC area, if I'm not mistaken. I'm hoping Johnny Newton steps up this second year. He was dealing with foot injuries the previous 2 years, James fracture injuries in his foot 2 years in a row. So this is his first season in the off season in a while. Well, he's going to be healthy, and I'm hoping, instead of having to rehab from injuries, he's just fine-tuning his game and improvement, because we definitely need him, because our running defense last year was atrocious. Teams was, racking up running yards on us. We played the Cowboys. Tony Pollard looking like Emmitt Smith out there. I mean, Saquon Barkley, I don't even have to say much about him. I mean, they hiked the ball, and it's like a damn garage door open with this amount of space he get. He just fly through there. I mean, terrible running game defense last year. That needs to improve. As I mentioned, guys that need to step up. Everybody needs to take a lead, not just Jaden Daniels, Mike Sarenstill. You played well, especially that game against the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. I need you to take a leap, sir. I'm looking at who we picked up in the draft this year. Josh Connerly, offensive tackle in the first round. We need that O-line to play great, because Jaden Daniels was getting sacked a lot. He had 40-plus sacks last year. That's a lot. We need to protect this guy. I mean, we see what he does, the talent he has. We need to protect him, keep him upright, and make him, win games for us. And then in the second round, cornerback Trey Amos. Hopefully, we kind of do what the Eagles did, where we draft these cornerbacks and immediately impacts like Quinion Mitchell and freaking Cooper DeJean of the Eagles. I'm hoping that's the same case. And I'm even looking at the late round picks. We got Kane Madrano, linebacker. I saw him some in the preseason playing with the ones on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm hoping, he's able to make immediate contributions, and not on the defense and special teams. That kick return, kick coverage, I'm still a little worried about. Going into last year, the Cowboys game, I think it was the first game we had, Kavontae Turpin runs one back on us and basically wins the game for the Cowboys. Damn preseason against the Patriots, their rookie running back, Trevion Henderson, he runs it back on us. So I'm hoping we get this under control, this kicking, the special teams, the kickoff return, and the kickoff coverage unit. We got to get this under control, please, for the love of God. All right. Now, the running back, Brian Robinson Jr., I was shocked we let him go. He goes to the San Francisco 49ers. We got a 6th-round pick back in return for him. San Fran, I mean, it seems like they can get a guy off the street, and the next game he rushing for 100 yards. So I won't be surprised if Brian Robinson has a career resurgence with the San Francisco 49ers. We drafted a running back in the 7th round, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill. It looks like he's going to be competing for that starting role. We got Chris Rodriguez still, Jeremy McNichols, and of course Austin Eckler, which I see him more as a 3rd down back, maybe some special teams unit as well. But I'm hoping they got who we need with this running back Bill, Krosky Merritt in the 7th round. We'll see. Then I'm going to get more into the free agency. Like I said, we picked up Javon Kinlaw, Eddie Goldman to help, that interior of the defensive line, hopefully shore up the running defense. We also picked up defensive end Dietrich Wise. And then we did a little bit of improvement, I say, in the secondary, because Lord have mercy, Benjamin St. Juice, God bless you. You're still in the NFL. You're on the West Coast now. God bless you, sir, because it was a hell of a season for you last year. If he wasn't getting burnt like toast, you was getting called for a holding or something. So Lord have mercy. Please, do okay. Bless you and good luck to you, sir. We picked up cornerback Jonathan Jones, safety Will Harris. I think those are, good veterans, solid veterans. I think they'll help out that defense a lot, because the defense last year, until we got Marshawn Lattimore, was, Lord have mercy. I mean, my blood pressure was through the roof watching them clowns play. Once we got Marshawn Lattimore, that defense kind of steadied itself out. I think, another year with Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Sarenstill. I'm hoping, Trey Amos, the rookie, is able to make immediate contributions. But I think Jonathan Jones and Will Harris will definitely be good for the secondary. And then Von Miller, a gun for hire. I think he still got a little bit left in the tank. He's not going to have to play every down. Just hopefully, and just from his history, when the lights come on, when the lights are the brightest, that's usually when he makes a play. You think about the Super Bowl he's played in, just big time games, he's usually make plays. So I'm hoping we use him on those 3rd and longs, even 3rd and shorts. Whenever we need to stop, he's out there and making plays. So I'm hoping the defense does its thing. And then Jaden Daniels, I mean, there's not too much I can say about him. Godsend fell from the heavens. I was hoping we could draft Caleb Johnson, Caleb from the Bears, Caleb Williams from the Bears, but I'm happy we got Jaden Daniels. I mean, look what the guy's done, man. I mean, best rookie season ever. I'm hoping he doesn't have a sophomore slump. I'm hoping Laramie Tunsil, Josh Connerly, whenever my guy Sam Cosmi gets back out there, he tore his ACL late last year. Hopefully he's able to come back this season. But I'm hoping our offensive line can help him. I hope the running game is improved, because a good running game will help him a lot too. I'm really hoping he doesn't have a sophomore slump. I don't know how much of a leap he can take. I mean, he had an incredible season, but I really do think he has more improvement to do, not just with running the ball. I'm hoping to see not as much runs of him. I want to see him pass the ball more. So Terry McLaurin was I'm glad we got him re-signed. We needed him re-signed, because we saw what those two did last year. 13 touchdowns for Terry McLaurin. I can see that continue to happen. I can see him getting a little bit more yardage. He had north of 1K yards, 1,000 yards receiving. I can see him getting like 1,200 yards receiving this year. We picked up Debo Samuels. He's like a Swiss Army knife. We're not just going to use him in the receiving game. I can see him definitely doing some jet sweeps like we saw in the preseason game and running the ball. I can see that happening. I'm hoping Ben Sanat, the tight end we drafted last year. I know Zach Arts is really good, but I'm hoping Ben Sanat improves. We need him to be really good. I thought he was going to be the premier tight end for us last year, but Zach Ertz kind of had a career resurgence with us. I think Ben Sanat needs to like step up a little bit more now and do his thing. So all that being said, man, I think we're going to finish second. I don't see us finishing or winning 12 games this year. I got us winning at least 10 games, maybe 11, getting to the playoffs again and see what happens. But I need to see how this defense looks. That's my main concern is the defense. Hopefully the running game, the run defense, is better and we can stop guys when we need to. Because there was a lot of times when we needed to make a play, they were either the opposing offense would make the play, or we would shoot ourselves in the damn foot and give them it. I'm thinking of you, Johnny Newton, when you jumped off sides against the Steelers. That's always going to be in my brain. Hopefully he makes that up for it. But yeah, man, I got us finishing in second place right now. But Jaden Daniels, he's kind of like the Lamar Jackson of the NFC, in my opinion. Nuclear bomb waiting to happen. I think we're gonna make some noise again this year. Definitely, repping for my team. But I got us finishing second in NFC East. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Well, it may come down to the final game or two, but Washington will win the NFC East. Here's why. JD5, he's a winner, makes everybody better around him. Number two, Cliff Kingsbury is back as offensive coordinator. As I've mentioned several times over the last couple of years, you never want to lose that offensive coordinator going from year 1 to 2, no matter if it's during the rookie season, during the off season, or early in that second sophomore year. You never want to lose him. Cliff Kingsbury's back for another year. He turned down coaching interviews to stay in DC. And Zach Ertz re-signed. Those two came on strong late last year and into the playoffs. Had a very good camaraderie between them two. Outside of that, I think y'all made a couple of improvements on the offensive line, which was already vastly improved from 2023. You talked about the amount of times that Jaden Daniels went down last year. Let's not forget how bad they was the year before. I think y'all led the league in sacks that year, offensive sacks.
Please don't
You
remind
got
me.
you got Laramie Tunsil. You got in the trade one of the better offensive tackles in the league. As you mentioned, Sam Cosme, he's out, but when he's in there, he's one of the one of the better offensive guards in the National Football League, in my opinion. And then y'all acquired Debo Samuel. As you mentioned, some of the things you like to see out of him early on in the season. The guy's a playmaker at the end of the day. Only concern for me on the offensive side of the ball, who's going to be the running back y'all can rely on. You mentioned Brian Robinson Jr. was traded away last week. It kind of shocked you, but when I thought about the team they traded him to, it made sense because they have that connection. The GM, y'all's GM with John Lynch is the general manager of the 49ers, so expect transactions in the future with those two as well. I like Chris Rodriguez Jr. He had a couple good games last year, but he's currently fourth on the roster, so we'll see how that goes. Fourth on the depth chart, excuse me. Defensively, I think y'all's strength is the corners. Trey Amos drafted this year. I'm really high on him in the second round out of Ole Miss. You mentioned Mike Samers, y'all hit home with him, and you got the veteran Marshawn Lattimore. He have a full off season to to fully learn this defense, get the checks in, all that kind of stuff. He's got the defense coordinator returning as well. I am though interested to see who will fill the void left by Jeremy Chin. I was really high on him last year. I think he played the safety position pretty well for y'all. And can this defensive line again produce? You mentioned that Deron Payne is the only one left from that fantastic four that y'all had for a little while. Will some of these new guys be able to get enough push on that front to disrupt quarterbacks? I do though like the linebackers as well. The improvements definitely. I know Bobby Wagner's back for another year. You had some issues with him last year here and there, But Von Miller is there with him now. And then you got the young guy, Frankie Louvu. Long as he don't have another game like he did against the Eagles, kept jumping all sides. Just wait till the ball is snapped, my guy, and then you can move around. But coaching decisions to watch as well. I'll be watching this one. I'll watch y'all. Will y'all be as aggressive on fourth down? Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn were very aggressive last year. I think y'all led the league in fourth down attempts, and y'all probably was pretty high on conversions as well, because most time y'all got it. Kind of remind me of the year when we used to go for it on fourth down, Lamar Jackson a couple years ago. But the difference is heading into this year, a lot of teams like to take away what you're good at, and it's on film now. Teams are expecting y'all to go for it on fourth down. They may get used to the type of plays y'all ran last year. So if y'all do it, if y'all is aggressive this year, what type of plays will y'all be calling on fourth down? But yeah, again, another three reasons. Again, while I'm very optimistic for this Washington Commander team, JD5 again is a winner, makes guys better around him. Cliff Kingsbury back as your offense coordinator, the guy who's calling the plays. And Zach Ertz, again, no disrespect to Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuels, but Zach Ertz was doing his thing out there as a veteran guy who's been around a couple teams. He definitely was doing his thing. So yeah, I got Washington winning the NFC East in 2025. Before I toss it back to you, I just see Micah Parsons going to wear number 1 in Green Bay. Just came down.
Okay, yeah, I know they have a wide receiver. I think it's Jaden Reed. He wears a number 11. So okay, that's pretty cool. But all right, everybody, that's gonna do it for another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. Next week, football is back. We got the Thursday night game, Cowboys and Eagles. Also going to be talking, making our predictions. Player awards, Super Bowl predictions. I'll definitely get that to you. But in the meantime, we got college football back too. Big game tomorrow. Texas, Ohio State. Archie Manning has a lot of hype with him. So we'll see how he does against Ohio State. Then we kind of followed Colorado a bunch last year, specifically, Deion Sanders and Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter. Congrats to him and his child and his wife, by the way, too. But they're about to play Georgia Tech tonight. If anybody's interested in that, that's going to be on ESPN. But in the meantime, y'all be safe out there. We'll talk to y'all next week. Like, comment, subscribe when you see us on YouTube. Just search B&E Podcast, Breaking and Entering Podcast. Look for us on Twitter, X, and Instagram as well. Podcast B&E Podcast. And we will see y'all next time. Peace.